Year 2 and welcome to your Monday morning maths. So what we're asking you to do today is we're asking you to solve multiplication word problems. So we've already looked at solving division word problems and now we're moving on to multiplication. Okay, what I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to pause the video and you can have a little go at singing along to your 5 times tables. There is a link on the PowerPoint for you to follow. But if you just go over to YouTube and type in 5 times tables by the Numberjacks, that's the song that we will be singing. Okay, once you've done that, I would like you to think about answering these questions. So what is 5 times 3? What is 25 divided by 5? Remember, you can either draw that out as a picture, or you could count in your 5 times tables until you get to 25 and that will tell you the answer. Then you're looking for the 7th multiple. So what comes 7th in the 5 times multiplication table? So have a little think about those answers and see if you can work them out. Okay, it's time for subitizing. Remember, keep your eyes on the screen and count the dots. Very fast indeed. This time I'd like you to count the blue dots. Brilliant. Count the red dots this time. Super job. And finally, count those lines. Fabulous. Okay, let's go to our review section. So, as you can see, in the first one, we've got the answer of 5. There's a 3 and a 2, and we know that those two numbers partitioned make the number 5. In the next one, we were looking for those blue dots, and we can see that there are 2 and a 1, and that makes 3. So well done if you said 3. And moving on to the next one, the third one that we did, we were looking for those red dots. And again, I can see a 3 and a 2, which also equals 5. So that one was 5 there. And finally, our lines, that went very quickly indeed. Well done if you managed to get this one, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, well done if you managed to get all of those correct. If not, keep trying your best. It's really important to be able to subitize so that we can see those numbers or arrangements as quickly as possible. Now everybody, here is your key vocabulary. Remember, throughout today's lesson, you should be using this vocabulary in all of your mathematical explanations. It will really help us to see that you've developed a great understanding of the mathematical concept. Okay, so let's read our key vocabulary for today. Multiply, equal, part, value, group, and whole. Have a little think about what each of those words means. You may want to pause the video whilst you do this. Okay, get yourselves ready. If you've got the worksheet in front of you, then you're quite welcome to use that. But don't worry if not, you could always pause the video here and draw out these arrays. You could then maybe number each one of the problems at the bottom as 1, 2 and 3, perhaps just like this. So this one could be problem 1, this one could be problem 2, and this one could be problem 3. Now if you do that, it'll just mean that you're not having to write out all of that word problem, okay? Just a little handy hint there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to read each of the word problems and we're going to match them to the correct array. I'm going to do maybe the first one and maybe the first one with you, and then I will let you complete the others independently. Okay, so let's read problem number 1. The school cook serves 2 carrots per pupil. There are 4 pupils in the queue. How many carrots will they get all together? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight some key information there, because the first piece of information that I'm looking for is the 2 carrots. Okay, that's an important piece of information to help me find the answer. I'm also going to highlight 4 pupils because that's another important piece of mathematical information that I need to help me find my array. So I'm looking at 2 carrots times 4 pupils. So I'm looking at 4 groups of 2, aren't I? Because each pupil, each of the 4 pupils is going to get 2 carrots each. So, and I'm looking for how many they get all together. So let's have a look. Which array shows 2 carrots and 4 pupils? Let's explore the first one. The first one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 2 rows, but there are 5 in each row. So I don't think that one's right. Let's have a look at the second one. In the second one, we've got 2 rows again. Looking good so far. And we now need to count to see how many are on the row. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4. That means that this is the correct array. Even just by looking at the final one, I can see that it's too big. I can see that it's got much more than 4 in there. So I know that this array is the correct one to match up with my word problem. Okay, so it's really important to pick out that key information, and this will help you to find the array that you are looking for. Okay, so off you go, everybody. Okay, it's time for our new learning now. Now, like I explained at the very beginning of this lesson today, in today's lesson, we're going to be looking at multiplication problems, and we're going to be finding the answers to these by drawing out our thinking, okay? So first things first, let's read the word problem and pick out those key pieces of information. I'm going to read it to you now, so listen carefully. The school cook is serving broccoli. She puts 2 pieces of broccoli on each child's plate. Now I can already tell that that's a key piece of information that I need. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight 2 pieces. So the school cook puts 2 pieces of broccoli on every child's plate. How many pieces of broccoli will there be all together on 5 plates? Another key piece of information, 5 plates. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that now. Okay, so down here, I've already gotten myself ready. I've drawn my 5 plates. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my 5 plates. How many pieces of broccoli do I need to put on just one of those plates? Excellent, well done if you said 2. I'm going to put 2 on there, 2 on there, and 2 on there. How many pieces am I going to put on the next plate? Well done, 2. 2 pieces there, and finally, you guessed it, 2 pieces there. Now this is going to help me. My picture of drawing out what it says in that word problem is going to help me to solve this problem, because I'm looking at how many pieces of broccoli there will be on all 5 of those plates. So I'm looking for how much broccoli there's going to be all together. So let's go ahead and count in our 2's to find the answer. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So our answer is 10, because 2 pieces of broccoli times 5 plates equals 10. Now I know that you know another way of writing this multiplication equation, because you know that multiplication is commutative. Remember, that just means we can swap the numbers around and the answer will still be the same. So I'm going to write that one too. 5 plates times 2 pieces of broccoli equals 10 all together. Good work, everybody. Let's move on to our next problem. Okay, the school cook is now making cakes. She's very busy today, and each cake needs 2 eggs. Oh, that's another piece of key information there. Let's go ahead and highlight that. So each cake needs 2 eggs. So for every 1 cake, 2 eggs will be needed. The cook is making 6 cakes. How many eggs will she need? Oh, another piece of key information. 6 cakes. So what we're looking for here is we're looking for 6 cakes with 2 eggs on each. We're looking for 6 groups of 2, aren't we? Okay, let's have a look at what that looks like as a picture. Here are my 6 cakes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, who can tell me how many eggs need to go on 1 cake? Well done if you said 2. You are right. There needs to be 2 eggs on each cake. Let's have a look what that looks like. There's 2, another 2, and another. And let's keep going until we've got all of our eggs on the cakes. Okay, now we have 2 eggs on each of our cakes. There are 6 altogether, 6 groups of 2. Let's go ahead and count them now to find out how many eggs we will need. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Well done. Counting each of the 2's has helped us to find that the answer of how many eggs are needed is 12. Now, who can be a real smarty here? Maybe go ahead and pause the video and see if you can write the multiplication equation before I reveal it. Off you go. Well done if you've written 6 times by 2 equals 12. You did a super job. Don't worry if you didn't get that. You can always write it down now. Okay, so there is another way that we could write this. We know that 6 times 2 equals 12, but we could also write it another way. Well done if you said we could also write it as 2 times 6 also equals 12. I wonder if you can say why that is now. Maybe go ahead and pause the video again so that you can have a little go at explaining why we could write it this way as well. Remember, it begins with a K. Brilliant. Well done if you said it's commutative. Remember, we can always swap those numbers around in multiplication and we have the same answer. It's just like addition. Okay, now it's time for your talk task. You may want to work with somebody else to find the answers to each of these, but if not, it's okay, you can work independently. Now's the time to pause the video and have a little go at each one of these, okay? I'm going to do the first one with you. So it says here, write the multiplication equation for each of these repeated addition equations. Okay, so we know that multiplication is just repeated addition. We've learned that already. So here in the first example, we've got 6, add 6, add 6. Okay, so we've got 6 add 6, which is 12, and add another 6 is 18. Okay, so you'll need to write the answer for each one, and then you will need to write the multiplication equation. So here we've got 1, 2, 3, lots of 6. Okay, so we've got 3 times by or multiplied by 6, which equals 18. Because repeated addition and multiplication are just the same. Let's have a go at one more together because this is rather tricky. Let's have a go at this second one, the one with the 3's, okay? So let's have a go at counting to find the answer. 3, add another 3 is 6, add another 3 is 9, add another 3 is 12. 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write the answer in there. And now we need to write the multiplication equation. I'm going to put my symbols in first. And I know that the answer is going to be 12, so I'm going to pop that in as well. Okay, now all I need to do is count how many 3s there are and then write the multiplication. So here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 4 groups of 3. Well done. Or we've got 4 times 3. Okay, I can't wait to see how you get on with the rest of the do now. Now's a perfect opportunity to pause the screen and you will be able to complete the next 3 independently. Off you go. Okay then everyone, let's develop your learning a little bit further. Okay, I'm going to read the word problem to you now. We're going to pick out the key pieces of information, then we're going to have a go at recording our ideas by drawing pictures. Okay, so let's read the equation. Each child gets 2 carrots at lunchtime. Can anybody tell me the key piece of information in that sentence that I am looking to highlight? Excellent, 2 carrots. If there are 10 children, how many carrots are needed? Another piece of information, 10 children. Well done. So we have 2 pieces of key mathematical information which will help us to solve the problem. We've got 10 children and each of the children should get 2 carrots each. Okay, so what I'm going to do is what you're going to be doing in your independent task today. You're going to be drawing out your ideas. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to draw my 10 children. Okay, and I'm just going to represent them as circles because it's their plate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I know your drawing is going to be so much better than mine here too. Okay, now we've got our 10 children. If you don't believe me, you may count now. There are 10 children on the screen and each of the children get 2 carrots. That's our other piece of key information. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is pop 2 carrots on each plate. 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm just going to keep going until all of my little children have got 2 carrots on their plate. Again, your drawings are going to be so much better than mine. But don't worry if they're not. You can represent it like this if you would like to. Okay, now each of my 10 children have got 2 carrots. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to count in my 2s. I'm going to skip count and that will tell me how many carrots there are all together and provide me with my answer. Let's go ahead and count them now. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So the answer is 20 carrots altogether because 2 times by 10 equals 20. Superb, everybody. So for each of your multiplication problems today, you're going to pick out that key piece of information, you're going to represent it as a picture, and then you're going to write the multiplication equation too. That bit is really, really important, okay? Let's move on to our next question. Oh, This time, our problem says, let's pick out that key information. Each child this time gets 10 carrots at lunchtime. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight 10 carrots because that is our key piece of information to begin with. If there are 2 children, again, another key piece of information that I'm going to highlight there. How many carrots are needed? So this time, I've only got 2 children, but they're going to have a very, very lovely lunch because they've got 10 carrots each, okay? They're going to be very full after that. So the way that I'm going to represent it this time is I'm again going to draw a picture. I'm going to draw a picture of one child. There they are. I'll even give them a smiley face. One child and 2 children. Because in my problem, that key piece of information said that there were 2 children. Okay, so here are my 2 children. Now I'm going to draw the carrots. How many carrots did it say in our problem that each of the children got? Well done if you said 10. Let's go ahead and draw them now. Oh, I'll use a different colour pen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 carrots for one of my children and 10 carrots for the other one of my children. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, your pictorial representation is going to be so much better than mine. Let's have a go at counting now how many carrots we've got all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the top row, and 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we've got 20 carrots all together. Let's go ahead and write that. Okay, now the multiplication equation this time looks slightly different, but because we've got 10 carrots this time, so it would be 10 times by 2 is equal to 20. Brilliant, well done everybody. Okay, in today's main activity, you are going to be doing exactly what we've practiced. You're going to be reading each of the word problems, picking out the key information, drawing the pictorial representation, and then you can write the multiplication equation for each, okay? Now, as always, we look forward to seeing your responses, and just one more thing, down with the chili challenge, it's entirely up to you whether you complete that or not. You don't have to complete the chili challenge, it's your choice. So if you feel confident enough to have a go, then we would encourage you to do that. But if you don't want to do the chili challenge, that's absolutely fine as well, okay? So have fun everybody, and I hope you enjoy and get on okay with your main activity. And just to finish, I'm just going to give you a little bit of a bonus here, because what we would like you to do is explore this representation, and I think this is part of your chili challenge. So if you are going to complete that today, this is just a little bit of extra information for you of how to go about completing it. So we've got to write the multiplication equation to represent the picture that we can see. It tells us a little bit of information already. It tells us that there are 4 bags, okay? So our job is to count how many apples are in each of the 4 bags and then write the multiplication equation for that. So we know it's going to be 4 times something equals something, okay? So have a little go and challenge yourself if you would like to. And then down at the bottom, there's just another little bonus for you to write any other equations that you know to do with this picture. Okay, so you might write the commutative way, or you might even write some division because that's our inverse operation. Remember, when we're doing division, you start with the answer and take away one of the parts. Okay, so you might start with the answer of them all together and take away, divide by 4. Okay, so that's one way that you could have a go at tackling today's chili challenge. Another part of the chili challenge was to go back through your work and self-check. Okay, so you might go back to question number 1, your multiplication equation, and you might have a go at checking it using the inverse operation. So remember, the inverse operation is just where you take the answer and take away a part. So for example, we were looking at, on the last slide, we were looking at 10 times by 2 equals 20. So I'm just going to write this for you now, just to demonstrate how we find the inverse. 10 times 2 equals 20. So we were checking this by using the inverse operation, which is division. We might do 20 divided by 2 equals, and of course the answer is 10. So we know that this one is correct because we've used the inverse to check it. Okay, so see how you get on, have a little go, challenge yourselves, and we cannot wait to see how you got on with today's maths lesson. Goodbye for now. I hope you have a lovely lunch and we'll see you back for learning this afternoon. Bye bye everybody, take care.